Welcome to the Women and Money Empowerment Show. My name is Yulin, and I am your host. In these episodes, you will hear my heart-to-heart conversations with women from all walks of life, sharing their wisdom and their journey to success. I hope through these stories, you will find inspirations and affirmation that ordinary people like you and me, we can achieve extraordinary results and live an extraordinary life. Now, let's dive into today's show. Hello, Lisa. Welcome to Women and Money Empowerment Show. There you go. You know, it's always so nice to be connecting and speaking with you. We've met a couple times, and I am always fascinated by what you do. And so I wanted to reach out to you because, as you know, this show is about empowering people, particularly women and money issues. And, when I speak about empowerment, it's, in my mind, it's actually really about self-empowerment. So, I'm here as a coach, and I'm always thinking about how can I help and support people to do on their own. And as part of that, some of it is about sharing stories to inspire people and to motivate people. But then the other part of the equation is also helping people, give people the tools to really become self-empowered. And that's why I reached out to you, because I love what you do. And, you are a owner and founder of the company called Heal Within. And by the way, I love that name. Because it is something that really resonates with me, the whole idea of when we're on this personal growth journey, I really believe that we need to start looking more, inward to tap into the potential resources that we already all have, and but we just don't know about, right? So we get busy and, looking elsewhere, looking outside, and trying to find that sense of security and peace from other people or from other external factors. But really, at the end of the day, the truth is, like, it's all within us. And so that's why I love the message that, your work and your company sends. And so I would love for you to share your work. But before we get into that, but maybe I'll have you introduce yourself to our audience first so that they can get to know you a little bit better.
Oh, thank you so much. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for this lovely opportunity and the interview with you, Yulin, because I have so much regard and respect for who you are and what you do. My name, as you know, is Liza Boubari. The name of my company is Heal Within, and I named my company exactly what I went through 25 years ago. Prior to that, I used to work as a paralegal and as an assistant to attorney for over 9 years in the law firms. And after my divorce, I had gone through some health issues, not only stress, anxiety, but also I overcame my ovarian cyst after having 2 surgeries. The third time, when I was diagnosed and I was told by the doctor that I was going to have another surgery, it was my HR director at the law firm, one of the law firms, that sent me to an acupuncturist. And on our second session, he gave me a piece of paper and said, "Did you know that hypnosis can help with your ovarian cyst?" I was like, what does up there have to do with down there, right? Lo and behold, I knew a hypnotherapist, and I went to her, and in less than 6 sessions, I believed I healed within. So when I went to the doctors and they did an ultrasound a week before the surgery, there was absolutely no indication of the cyst. It changed the course of my life, and what I call the healing started, and my belief system changed, which nowadays I call it my BS, right? The belief system. So what we believe becomes reality. And we can shift that reality, and I will give you some tools and techniques later. And I went back to school while I was still at the law firm, wanting to be an attorney. It literally shifted and changed the course of my life and my journey to now doing clinical hypnotherapy, stress management consulting, and empowering others and helping others transform from the inside. And what I call it from the, not only the inside, but better yet, it's mindset reset from the core, which is our
Mm,
subconscious level.
mhm.
And that's the work that I've been doing for over 22 years today.
Wow, wow. And I love it because I think everything you say is essentially what I'm doing on the financial side, right?
Right.
And that have I heard people say, "Oh God, I'm so bad with money." And it's that self-talk. And even though sometimes it may sound like a joke, kind of a casual.
Sometimes we laugh about it while we say it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we do these things, but that is part of that programming that we actually keep ourselves. We are bad with money, and so that is totally about the mindset, as you said. And then you can translate that to health, right? Is believing that you have the power to heal yourself. So that's awesome. So thank you so much. So now you've been doing your work for the last 20 plus years, and so I know for many people, the word hypnotherapy could mean different things. And some people who are more, familiar with it, they may have a certain idea. And then there are other people that go, oh, that's scary. That, it's like,
Right.
and so I would love for you to just help, demystify what is hypnotherapy and how does it work and how does it actually help people?
Well, thank you for this because I love sharing and educating
Hmm.
about this. This has become my passion, hypnosis.
Hmm.
First of all, hypnotherapy is doing therapy
Hmm.
through the tool of hypnosis.
Okay.
That's it. Hypnosis in itself is just a tool. It's just another technique like meditation, like yoga, like exercising.
Hmm.
So it's just a tool, right?
Hmm.
Now, we go in and out of hypnosis every single day.
Hmm.
When you sit in a car and you go from one destination to another
Hmm.
while you're listening to the music, talking to people, eating something, maybe even putting your lipstick on, having your own dialogue going on, and you get to your destination, you get out of the car and you don't even think about parking, turning the car off, or any of that. You go into that auto zone. That auto zone is that hypnotic trance state, Zen state. So
Hmm.
watching TV, you're engrossed in a show or something like that, you're in it.
Hmm.
So what we have this misconception is the biggest misconception about hypnosis is that clients lose control, which is never true.
Hmm.
Actually, you're more in control, and I will guide you to understand why.
Hmm.
Second thing is, am I going to fall asleep? No, definitely not. You're in a very deep state of relaxation or even shallow state, because I do hypnosis and transformation can happen even at the most shallow state of relaxation, and it doesn't have to be deep, deep state of
Hmm.
relaxation. Okay.
Hmm.
So those are the two biggest misconceptions. The therapist has got control over my mind, and I don't want to fall asleep. Am I losing control, or am I asleep?
Right.
So those are the two biggest conceptions. Even right here, all your audience, even you, did you even think twice about the chair that is holding your body while you're sitting on it?
Mm.
No, because you trusted the chair. You sat on it. And if the chair was wobbly, you would have probably got up, changed the chair, or tried to fix it, right?
Mhm.
So when we live our life with an inner trust, it's an inner trust. You sat on that chair, the chair is holding your weight. We don't think about our weight. We don't think about anything else except this interview right here, right now, or your inner dialogue about what I'm saying. That's it. We are so present and focused on this moment. Everything else, even though it's going on, you're in this room, you've got this camera, you've got the chair, you've got everything that it's surrounding, and you are in your place that you are aware of, which is your comfort zone. Nothing really matters except this very moment. That's what we call a shift of transference from where you are to another. So by focusing and helping my clients relax. So our mind is in three parts. Okay. Just like this phone,
Mm.
the phone that we have, when you open it, first you have to put your password or whatever, right? So that gives the phone permission. You give permission to yourself and the phone for you to be in connection. So that means when you're in a state of relaxation, you give yourself permission to allow information to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the next thing is all the information, your contacts, all the pictures and everything, it's stored somewhere. So that means you took the picture, which is our conscious mind, that it looks, it listens, and it records, right? That taking picture or videoing or even putting that microphone, that voice message, that's look, listen, and learn. That's the conscious mind only. And then where is all that information going? In that little chip inside your phone that you never even see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that little chip that holds all this information, stores all the information is what? The subconscious level, which is 98% of our mind. So the subconscious level is where all this information is stored. All the apps are stored, all the pictures, information, everything is there. That means from the day you were born until this very moment. So not only it's stored in the subconscious mind, the subconscious mind holds that information, number one thing that it does. Secondly, regulates your entire bodily function without we thinking about it. Okay. And the third, it brings back the information. That's when you go into your pictures and you go all the way back and forth and back and forth. That's our memory bank. So it holds there, and we can go back to a week ago, a month ago, maybe even when you were 6 years old. And if I were to ask you, Yulin, do you remember the house you grew up in?
Mm-hmm.
How about your best friend when you were in middle school?
Mm-hmm.
How about the first toy or doll that you had? I don't know why I said a doll, but your favorite toy that you had playing with it, maybe when you were 5 or 6 years old. Did you have a favorite toy?
Actually, it's kind of interesting. I actually never had a doll in my entire life or childhood.
That's why somehow I just shifted and I said, maybe not a doll, another toy. It's amazing that I can pick that up.
Right.
Did you have anything that it was so precious to you when you were very young?
What I used to like are like I love, even till this day, I love beautiful, like back then it was pencil, but now it's pen. I love beautiful pencil, collecting pencils and erasers.
Okay. So did you see how fast I took you to another time and a place where you said doll was not, it was something else? Your
Right.
best friend. Did you remember your best friend?
Yeah.
Do you remember her name or
Yeah.
his name?
Yeah.
Okay. See how fast we can go from our conscious thinking, analyzing, judging, reasoning portion, which is right here, to another time and a place. And that is called transference. And what we do in hypnosis, when someone comes and says, I'm having panic and anxiety, insomnia, pain, or weight loss, people who will go through yo-yo, and no matter how much of a diet they do or exercise they do, after a few weeks or months, they gain it back, right? So there's that mental, emotional compartment and component and attachment to whatever is the weight, where what I call the emotional weight. That's what I work with. What are you holding on and what's weighing you down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So those are all the things. It's connecting to that memory bank that had the emotion or the trauma or the pain and bring it to surface, what I call evoke it. So you can acknowledge, understand it, And then you can embrace who you are with what you have right now so that you can evolve to what it is you desire and your goal.
Yeah, no, that was such a good explanation. And I love how you, created these analogies to make it so easy for me to comprehend. And I think, hopefully the listeners out there as well, that I think most of us have heard about, the different places of our consciousness and subconsciousness, but we don't necessarily understand how they actually show up in our daily lives. And I think what you just did was explain it in such a simple way. And so I totally get that. And I was just in a session with a couple of friends that we wanted to do this guided imagery meditation. And it sounds very similar to that. Is there, do you know what might be the differences
Of course I
between?
do.
Okay, yeah, I would love, yeah, I would love for you to get down a little deeper on that.
Right. So some say, is this like meditation?
Right.
Here's the difference between meditation and hypnosis. It's very acute difference where I believe so. It's my belief system, right? And through the years, this is how I've explained. When we do meditation, we start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes until we get acclimated to meditating and going into a Zen state of silence, peace, nothingness,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That all is good and everything just flows, comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
Guided visualization is how we begin or doing the story of the transformation and everything, taking you to a place and a time. But hypnosis is science. It is a science and an art to take you from this level of either where you are today for a reason. We go into hypnosis not for only relaxation, but for a reason of if I have a panic, if I have a fear, if I have an anxiety, to become more aware of myself, my feelings, my thoughts, my understanding of bringing that memory bank forward to acknowledge and understand so I can edit it, so I can heal it, so I can do something with it. I'm not in a peace and nothing zone, although you are very relaxed, but it is doing therapy. It's literally doing work with a poignant cause, reason to go into that state of hypnosis to do the therapy. That's why it's called hypnotherapy. So
Mm-hmm.
we're doing the hypnosis. We can go into hypnosis in and out. As I said, we're going in and out every day watching TV. We go into that zone state. We hear everything. If the phone rings, you open your eyes, pick up the phone, talk, and then put it down, and you go into that state of relaxation. So
Mm-hmm.
allow me to say this.
Mm-hmm.
I do self-hypnosis, and we can all learn how to do self-hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
I do self-hypnosis to have root canal with bypassing the pain factor by numbing my gum. So I hypnotize myself to numb my gum, the surrounding area of where the tooth that they're going to be working on, to bypass the pain factor. And I have no anesthesia, no topical, no nothing.
Wow.
And we have a root canal. They drill the root, they take it out, they put it together and fill the tooth with absolutely no anesthesia. And I'm sitting there in a la state. What did I do? I'm not in a nothing state, but I am so relaxed that I'm bypassing. I have focused attention on numbing my gum. So it's so acute and understanding. So if we
Wow.
have a fear of height, flying, driving, that means there was a cause. What we do, we open that conscious level, which is opening this and going into the information or the contacts or the pictures to open the file to see where the causation is in a state of relaxation so that the traumatic experience or whatever happened that had an emotion connected, there is no emotion happening in a subconscious. It's just a memory. We
Mm,
bring it, what I call our past is our history.
mhm.
You open that file and you're reading history. There is no emotion connected to history. It's the conscious mind that puts information as a understanding what that meaning is. So we
Right,
give it meaning with emotions, or else
right.
subconscious has no information. So we do that by bypassing that. So that's what self-hypnosis is all about. And so meditation, guided visualization, just for the journey, and then deep level of hypnosis for change and transformation of root cause.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for making that distinction. Because I think now, as someone who's in from outside, like because when I hear people talk, they all sound very similar, right?
Correct.
The different practices and they all sound similar. And so sometimes I was like, okay, so what do I do, right? And I think sometimes when people feeling lost and looking for tools or looking for support, they don't necessarily know who to look for or what
Mm,
kind of support they need. I think this really helps to I hope the listeners to be able to differentiate, am I at a place where I just need some, meditation guru to help
right.
me, just to kind of changing the way maybe I live to be more in the Zen zone more often, or maybe I'm someone who really have some issues and I need obviously, meditation never hurts, but I also need some additional help to actually address the deep rooted cause of that through, therapy and, hypnotherapy certainly sounds like one of
And
them.
that's exactly what you work with. It's understanding the root cause of what is the money issue,
Yeah,
the money
yeah,
factor, right?
exactly,
Because
exactly.
is it lineage? Is it the family? Is it because the grandparents grew up in during the war and they were very frugal, and that because of, or this is how I grew up,
Mhm.
everything I have to be frugal, or I give value to what I have.
Right. We
It's
give
all about abundance and prosperity.
Right, right. So it's yeah, absolutely. And I actually find that quite often in the recent month when as I'm working with clients, especially, with the whole market, the economy hasn't been doing well. It's going down,
Correct.
it's been going downhill. And I've had quite a few clients who basically they really have a hard time looking at their investment statements right now. I said, okay, well, let's take a look. And there's always different reasons why, we still haven't looked at it. And part of it is, they just don't want to look at it because and so part of, what I was, coaching them on is about how to build up that emotional muscle around
Resilience.
numbers, right? Right. So most of us, our balances are dropping, or have dropped. But it's again how we react to that. And some people, when they aren't in full control of their emotions around money, I don't want to look at it. And so then we put ourselves in this kind of avoidance space
The denial.
versus, you know what? It is what it is. These are numbers. Some years I love these numbers. Other years I'm not in so much in love with these numbers,
Right.
but it's okay. But I still need to, keep my eyes on it. I still need to look at how do I need to, maybe reposition or, reallocate our resources, right? So that's exactly what you're saying too, is, you know, just by looking at the statement, looking at those numbers, we then subconsciously, without realizing that we have so much stories and meaning assigned to
Mm,
these balances. Maybe it's the emotion of shame, or maybe it's the emotion of guilt, whatever
right.
that may, or yeah. So I see so much parallel
The,
in what you do and what I do, and also maybe what you do in the application, in the finance area as well.
right. I mean, the biggest stressors in life are what?
Money.
Health.
One of the money. Yeah.
No, it's number
Relationship.
one thing is the health of a loved one.
Uh-huh.
That is the number one stressor in life.
Mhm.
Okay. The
Mhm.
second is money,
Mhm.
and not a lot of it, lack thereof.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. And as you said, looking at it, it's like this either to any kind of a fear factor or
Mhm.
shame factor, guilt factor. The more we push it, the more it comes towards us, because it's
Mhm.
like a rubber band. The more you pull away, it
Mhm.
snaps back faster. So
Right.
it's so much better for all of us, just like a history. Read it like a number, instead of giving it an emotion.
Yeah, this is awesome. So, can you maybe share with us what is your definition of success? Because on my show, I always talk about creating the success that we want, right? And so I would love to
Right.
hear your definition of success.
Okay. Before I say what is success to me, because as you say, success is different for everyone.
Mhm.
About Probably about 20 years ago, when I had just started this work of mine and everything, leaving the law firm to start this new journey. And it was scary because I was always an employee, and
Yep.
now I was
Mhm.
like making my own, right?
Mhm.
So I had a friend, and he was much younger than me, highly successful. His name was Manny. And I said, Manny, you are like the VP of this insurance company. You guys have 20 employees and everything. You are so successful. How did you do it? He looked at me then. This is 20 years ago. He's now married, 3 kids and everything. But he said, what do you think success is? Because I believe success is my barber, that every time I go to him, he's got this small little place, 2 seats, and I walk in there. He's happy. He's whistling. He knows my father, and he knows all his constituents, all his clientele. He's known probably their father, their son, and their maybe even their grandfather, because he's been there for so long. And he's happy. He talks about their life. And then at the end of the day, he gets the money, closes the shop, and goes home. To me, that's success, because he is happy and there is an abundance and he's got stories to tell, and
Mhm.
he has a relationship with his people. So what is mine? I believe mine is having not only my business, but of helping. And if I can help make a difference in the life of a one person or many, and I can empower them, and I go home feeling satisfied and fulfilled. And at the end of the month, I say, yes, I did it. To me, that's satisfaction. And my satisfaction, believe success is abundance.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So either I
and
make $5,000 a month, or 30,000 is what I aspire, or $3 million is what I aspire. But what do I want to do with that? The meaning for that, if it is not abundance and it's greed, and if it is negativity, then there is no abundance. So
Mhm.
success is what will you do with what you have.
Right, right, right. Yeah, and then that's so much in alignment, with what I also, coach with my clients. It is, it's interesting, and I'll share this as a money coach. I personally am not motivated by money.
Right.
Um, and yeah, it's ironic, right? Um, because and how I know that is, in whether it's in my current, coaching work, or in the previous my previous life as a mortgage advisor and investment advisor, is that the moments when I get high is at the moment when I'm talking and doing a coaching session, when we hang up the phone, finishing it. And when I felt like we had a really, really good session, when I know that there was something I said during that session, kind of, turn on that light bulb moment for my client. that's
Uh-huh.
what gave me the high. I just feel it's not, I know for some people that, when they get that check, they get that high. Of course, I want to be, rewarded financially for the work I do. But honestly, my personal high, and I can feel it in my body, is actually when I finish that coaching call, knowing that I've made a difference in that conversation to get people open up another door in how they think, or how they're going to behave, whatever, right? And so yeah, so that's very interesting. For me, that's also what success is when I tell clients, is that it's, we're working on the money work, but at the end of the day, it's not about money for the sake of money. It's really more about, what do we do with the resources that we get? and
Yeah,
and
money,
therefore,
money is energy.
right, yeah. So but therefore, we don't necessarily have to wait for success until we have this much money, or we make this much money. And I think that's what a lot of the maybe the social conditioning have been, is, when we talk about, when we look at somebody's, and we think, oh, he or she is really successful, we just automatically assign, kind of a financial value to it. Oh, he or she,
Mm.
because they've made so much money, they're so successful in their business, they look like they're very successful, right? So then, for people, I feel like, then you feel like you have to get there in order to feel successful. But
I'm
yet,
not happy until I have.
right. But at the same time, if you really can, as we talked about, we can create the success today in our own life, no matter the amount of money that we have or the amount of money that we make. Because if we really look at success in a way that is aligned with our true desire, true value, then it doesn't have to be tied to a dollar number. Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. And then, so I always ask this question for all my guests as a money coach: how does money show up for you?
Good question. Um, as I said, money is energy, just like how does it show up? I do not lack money. Okay.
Mhm.
Money is sometimes I can walk and then I say, "Ah, I can watch a coin and it will show up. And few steps later, I'll find a coin, like a quarter or something like that. It's the energy we put into it, with the way we ask for it.
Mhm.
And I think money shows up when there's been so many difficult times for me in my life that I've had hard times. Nobody knew about it, struggled. And the beginning of my career, maybe I lived from one credit card to another, and I made sure that my credit cards were at zero credit card, found the zero credit card, and I would, after a year, transfer it to the next one.
Mhm.
So I've had those days. I've had the days that struggling. But to me, it was like, oh, this is for me to know when I have it, where I have been. So
Mhm.
I take things of it's going to show up. No, it is showing up. This is what I have to go through to know what it feels. And when I want to have a massage, instead of a luxury massage, I can go and get a foot massage for $30 instead of a $300 massage, right?
Mhm.
So, how it shows up is we can make the best out of it. And then when we call it, we reaffirm it, and we have it to appreciate it. And
Mhm.
that's how it's always showed up. Never lack. Appreciate when you are down and
Mhm.
appreciate when you are up,
Mhm.
because it's a seesaw.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
So learn
And
to balance.
that's right. And I for me, I think our life journey is a balancing act, right?
Yeah,
It's the
it's a
art
seesaw.
of, yeah, it's the art of your balancing act. And to me, that's how I would sum it up, our life, our quality of life
Yeah.
is how well can we balance all of the things that that come our way, that we juggle, whether it's, physically in the day-to-day life, or at the emotional level. So
Right.
well, thank you. Thank you for
Success for
sharing that.
me is being able to do what I want, have what I want
Mhm,
in my capacity,
mhm,
and want more, and realize that I can join a service club and be of service, and on boards and organizations, which I have my nonprofit for motherless children, to be of help to others. And as I grow, the more I have, the more I can share.
mm. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. You'll have to tell me more about your nonprofit as well.
Thank you.
All right. Well, so time just flies as always
It
when we're
does.
enjoying our conversation. As we wrap up, tell us, what's your plan for, what's your next step? And then for people who are interested in reaching out to you, whether to just to get to know you or really, interested in your, hypnotherapy work, how and where they can find you.
Thank you for that. My next phase is we will be having a course, a 9-week course for weight loss,
Mhm,
which is not weight loss. It's an emotional balance of body image and mind and everything, which is called Stand Up to Slim Down, because you
mhm,
have to stand up for who you are in order to shed all the things that has been weighing you down and it's no longer needed.
mhm,
So that Stand Up to Slim Down 9-week course is coming up. Plus, they can always find me for a one-on-one session at
mhm,
healwithin.com.
mhm.
Okay. And what was the last question? What's next? I am working on another book called The
Mhm,
Powerful She. That's how we met. We
mhm.
were as a co-author at The Powerful Female Immigrants. And I love not only your story, but the work you do. And I look forward to enhancing our relationships further anymore.
Well, yeah, same here. Same here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending your time with me and sharing your words of wisdom with our audience. Until next time, thank you.
It's been an honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to the Women and Money Empowerment Show. If you ever have doubt for moments about yourself, your capability, or your worthiness, please remember to keep coming back to these stories and lean in. Draw the wisdom and strength from these incredible women and know that you also have what it takes to live a fulfilling life. Until next time, have a fabulous day.